Basically, just don't date someone who doesn't want to understand you. So, dating with Tourette Syndrome, what a topic! I'm just gonna jump right into it. So since the beginning of high school, I've had 7 different boyfriends. So people with Tourette Syndrome can date, and apparently can date a lot. But right now, I've been dating my current boyfriend for about 16 months, and it's going great. He's wonderful. I love him so much. But boyfriends over the years have handled Tourette Syndrome a little bit differently, so I'm gonna go into some of my experiences with that. We'll just start off with the bad boyfriend. He's the only one of my exes that I do not like in any way. So to preface this, along with Tourette Syndrome, I have OCD, anxiety, and depression, which are just, they're comorbidities of Tourette Syndrome, so it makes sense. But this boyfriend that I'm speaking of, one time I was just hanging out in my old apartment's bedroom, just having a good night, and he sent me an article about video game addiction. And he said, "This is why I don't believe in that mental health stuff." We had been dating for a little bit at this point, and he knew that not only did I have a neurological disorder, Tourette Syndrome, but I also had mental disorders. So he just was completely invalidating part of my identity and part of who I am and part of me. Also, while dating that same boyfriend, I went through this long phase where in the middle of the night, if anyone touched me, I'd start ticking a lot. So I told him about this. I expressed to him that I did not want to be touched during the night, or else I'd tick a lot, and that's not fun for me. It wakes me up more, and just generally it's not fun to tick a lot. So he didn't care. He touched me all throughout the night with his hands, with his arm around me, all of that. I would bring it up to him in the mornings and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." Not only did he not care enough to make me comfortable, he just didn't care enough to the point where he would make me super uncomfortable. And he pretended that he was super supportive of my YouTube channel and everything I did and the work I did with Tourette Syndrome related things. And maybe he thought he was, but how can you really be supportive if you don't even believe in that mental health stuff? So not all of my boyfriends were that bad. I was dating another guy actually after that guy. And I went through another weird phase where if I was touched in this part of my abdomen area, I would start doing my abdomen tick like hard. And I told my boyfriend at the time about this, and he went out of his way to make me comfortable and made sure not to touch me there, and if he did it on accident, he was really apologetic. In high school, I didn't talk to my boyfriends much about Tourette Syndrome outside of just that I had it and what it was. It wasn't really part of a lot of conversations, and I don't recommend this. I encourage talking about it, because if you don't really help your partner understand super well, then they won't understand super well. Current day, I'm with the most wonderful, loving boyfriend who I've chosen to live with. Tourette Syndrome is part of our daily conversations, but mostly because I won't shut up about it. But he's part of the conversation too. He talks about it intelligently and he's really good about it. And the reason why he knows how to talk about it and he's so good about it is because I've talked to him about it a lot and educated him about it, which I recommend. If your partner can't accept that you have Tourette Syndrome or doesn't want to talk to you about Tourette Syndrome, then they're probably not for you. Okay, so in terms of intimacy, we're not gonna get into the nitty gritty, but holding hands can be kind of hard because I always have to do multiple ticks before I grab my boyfriend's hand, or when he grabs my hand, I usually have to pull away and then do a few ticks. They usually look like this. And then I can hold hands. Cuddling, although very pleasant usually, is really hard when my tics are bad. I am a horrible big spoon because I move my arm so much to do arm tics. I usually put my arm around my boyfriend and then I just have to immediately take it off, and then I try to keep it on for more than a few seconds, and it doesn't always work out great. And then kissing is normal, except sometimes I have to stop doing it so that I can do my coughing tic or other weird tics like this. What I recommend is talk to your partner about your Tourette Syndrome very early, if not even before you are together. And don't filter yourself about it. And it'll just be much easier to let them know the facts early on. I also would not try to suppress your tics around your partner because, first of all, suppressing tics sucks. And if they don't know that part of you, then they don't know all of you. Basically, just don't date someone who doesn't want to understand you. Boom. I get that it can be hard. Trust me, I've been through it at least 7 times. I hope you enjoyed hearing my experiences and that you'll take some of my advice. But that's dating with Tourette Syndrome. Thanks, Twitches. Bye!